Oncers, it's Minx, and it's time for another Once Upon a Time review. Of course, full of spoilers. So if you haven't watched it, go to watchabc.com and watch it right now. And we're talking about episode 17 of season 5. And we got to see some of the main group, but for the most part, majority of the episode was dedicated to Belle. Belle and Rumpelle. Belle and no one fights like Gaston. Das is lights like Gaston. That's right. Gaston makes a reappearance, and thanks to Hades, is armed to the teeth to take out Rumpelle, because as we remember in the only other time we've seen him, he got turned into a frickin' flower and pretty much killed by Rumpelle. So, somebody wants some revenge. So, with that, let me get into some of the stuff that happened. Emma is now having prophetic dreams. Probably due to the fact that A, she has refused to sleep, and thus is taking those weird crashing naps that happen when you don't sleep a lot. And she's seen some stuff. I will say, right off the bat, the dream sequence, I knew that was Ruby. I knew that was Ruby that come flying out of there. It's kind of hard to miss that it was a giant frickin' wolf. And we only know 2. So I knew that was Ruby. Kind of made me excited. And then they didn't really pick it back up until the end of the episode, which made me really sad. But it was confirmed. So yay! Ruby's back. Red's back. Where the frick is Mulan? I want to know where Mulan is. She needs to show up. I want to know why Ruby is suddenly in the frickin' underworld, and it better be she just ported herself there, because if she's dead, I'm gonna be so pissed. Okay? I've been looking forward to the storyline with her and Mulan since they announced that such a storyline was going to be happening and wouldn't announce the other player. Okay? She's the player 2 in this, and I want to know what happened. But I guess that'll come out next Sunday. So it's pretty much them. It's her having a prophetic dream, panicking because of said prophetic dream because she thought her mom got killed when it got pounced by the wolf. Which at the time, she didn't even pay attention to the fact that it was wolf. I saw this fucking thing streak across the thing and I could tell it was a wolf. I don't know how Emma couldn't. They're pretty much just dealing with the aftermath of that. You know, her freaking out, them hiding out in the Mills Mausoleum, until Regina comes back from a weird, awkward sister moment with Zelena, where she learns that the only weakness Zelena knows of is the fact that Hades is in love with her and kind of a creeper. I also want to point out the fact that there's a point where he's, like, watching her, you know, like, essentially stalking her, acting like that creepy uncle that you never want to sit next to. And he's mouth breathing. He's like a total that creepy mouth breathing uncle. Like, oh, did I set my hair on fire? Oh. And don't get me wrong. I like most of how he's playing Hades. He's playing him kind of quirky and very methodical. Like, even his facial expressions are very methodical. But there's a few times where it's like, oh my god, you were so the creepy uncle. Like, it's just so creep-tastic, okay? That, I'm not sure, those moments I don't really like him in. So I hope he stays away from that a little bit. So, yeah, I had to just throw that in there because it's been bothering me. That's pretty much all you see the main group doing. The rest of the time is all dedicated to Belle and Rumpelle and Gaston. You get to see pretty much what led up to them getting engaged in the first place. It was an arranged marriage engagement thing with her dad, who we all remember from back in the day. So there's that. And she kind of knew from the start that he was kind of a prick. So I'm trying to figure out, you know, I think it was mostly for character development for Belle, further testing the boundaries of Rumpelle. And I will say this, Rumpelle and Belle has been my favored OTP since the beginning of time. Since the beginning of Once Upon a Time. And lately, just some of the choices they made in the writing have bothered me because of the way it's affected their relationship. I don't feel that it was necessary to make Rumpel the bad guy again, to make him a dark one. I still hate that decision. I don't like the fact that he is now pigeonholed into all of this crap, and now they're having these stupid arguments about, using dark magic for good reasons versus being a dark one and using that power with light magic. It's like the Jedi versus Sith thing. There is such a thing as gray Jedi. And I don't see why there can't be such a thing as like a gray one, you know? They need to hit that gray area soon because they're driving me frickin' up the wall. Hades made a deal with Belle that she ultimately took, and it was, Rumpel and Gaston are supposed to go head to head, and one of them ends up in the river. He was very specific with his wording, and the thing is, Belle being married to Rumpel for majority of the series, or at least in a relationship with him majority of the series, so, as she told Hades, I'm married to a man who makes deals. I know there's a cost. I know what this is, what's going on. Being someone who says that, and who has been married to probably one of the biggest dealers ever, one of the biggest hustlers ever, she didn't pay attention to the fine print. Like, she didn't pay attention to the very specific wording of that deal. And instead of letting Rumpel do his thing and get rid of Gaston, because let's face it, Gaston was always a frickin' tool anyway, she ends up pushing him in, and their baby's still on the hook. Like, seriously? You even said you married a man who makes deals. You know how this works. Belle is not that stupid. She is not that stupid. And I know she just wants to do good, and I know she wants Rumpel to do good things, without using bad magic, but there cannot be light without dark. I mean, even the brightest light casts a shadow. They've got to find that gray area because my brain is about to explode. With that said, I'm going to give this. I'm actually going to give it a C+, B-. It wasn't one of the best episodes. I don't like the way lately in the last few episodes where they'll touch base real quick, and then just kind of in some of the way they're ordering the scenes when they're breaking into the main story is just a little bit disjointed for me. There wasn't a whole heck of a lot of action. The CGI for the orc or whatever was okay. The ogre. It was pretty good. Not the worst I have ever seen them do. So that's pretty cool. The CGI when they were showing some of the souls just kind of like flash a little bit. When he was talking about the river of souls that flows straight through here, blah blah blah. That was kind of cheesy. I feel like they could have done a lot better with that. They have the budget for it. They could have done better. I've seen them do better. I'm not as hung up on Belle as I used to be, so I would have rather... Okay, if next episode they don't tell us what happened to Ruby, I'm going to be so pissed. And I'm looking more forward to that than I was I was looking more forward to, hey, are they going to find Ruby the entire episode? That's almost the only reason I watched it, beyond the fact I have to do a review for you guys. But seriously, it was... I'm not going to say it was garbage, because it wasn't garbage, because it's Once Upon a Time, and it's an amazing show. But the guy who played Gaston played him pretty well. Looks-wise, he was pretty good. Um, but it's just I don't know. It wasn't the best that they've done. There was some character develop. You get to see a little more, of how Belle became the way she was. Heavily influenced by her mother, which I'm wondering if we're ever gonna see her mom ever. Um, but yeah, just some of the things didn't make sense, like the fact that Belle didn't realize that the word choices meant something. That kind of thing. So I don't know. Tell me what you guys thought. Did you like this episode? Did you like it more than me? Am I dirt wrong? Feel free to leave me a comment in the comment section because I respond to all comments. Um, Also, if you like this review or my past reviews and you want all my future reviews, unboxings, Daredevil, everything like that, click that little red button down there that says subscribe. And I hope you enjoyed it. Catch you next Sunday. Later, onces.